Good morning, students. I hope you are watching the videos and doing your homework. So be prepared for the test. I'll announce it before and take the test. So learn first chapter, that is cell, the fundamental unit of life. So we are studying now plant tissue. Already I have taught you plant tissue is of two types, that is meristematic and permanent tissue. Now I think you might be remembering meristematic tissue means those tissues which are having the capacity to divide, and those tissues which has lost the power of division is known as the permanent tissue. Now already I have taught you permanent tissue is of two types, that is simple permanent tissue and complex permanent tissue. Simple permanent tissue means those tissues which are made up of similar type of cells. So now we are dealing with the simple permanent tissue. So simple permanent tissue is of three types, that is parenchyma, collenchyma and sclerenchyma. Among that, parenchyma and collenchyma we have already completed. So I think you might be remembering the function of parenchyma and collenchyma. Parenchyma helps to store the food and give the mechanical strength, whereas collenchyma helps in the easy bending. Now the basic difference between parenchyma and collenchyma is that the parenchyma, the intercellular space is present, whereas in collenchyma this intercellular space is very short due to the deposition of a chemical known as the pectin. And the similarity is there, that you remember, because it will help you during the study of sclerenchyma. Parenchyma and collenchyma are the living cell. So now today we will deal with the sclerenchyma. So sclerenchyma, it is a simple permanent tissues of dead highly thick walled cells with narrow lumen. Now see here, sclerenchyma contain the dead highly thick walled cells, whereas we have studied in parenchyma and collenchyma that they contain the living cells. So this is the basic difference, means parenchyma and collenchyma contain the living cells, whereas sclerenchyma contain the dead highly thickened walled cells with narrow lumen. The thickness is generally made of lignin, which function like a cement and hardens the cell wall. Now another difference between collenchyma and sclerenchyma, you can write that there the deposition was of pectin. Now here the deposition is of lignin, which function like a cement. Like cement we used to build the wall and all, so that become hardened. So this lignin here hardened and make it hard. So the wall contain certain unthickened area called pits. So some area is there where it is become unthickened, or we can say the narrow lumens are there, that is known as the pits. Now function of sclerenchyma. It is the chief mechanical tissue of plant which provide them strength and enable them to bear various stress. Next here, it form protective covering around seeds and nuts, the dry fruits you eat. That is having the hard covering. Seeds are also having the hard covering. That is due to this tissue known as the sclerenchyma. Sclerenchyma fibers of some plants are commercially exploited, that is flax, hemp, jute, coconut. The husk of the coconut is also made up of sclerenchyma. So the basic difference between parenchyma, collenchyma and sclerenchyma function is that the parenchyma helps to store the food and give the mechanical strength, whereas collenchyma helps to in the easy bending of the plant. And here sclerenchyma give the strength and enable them to bear the various stress. Now to make it more clear, I have pasted a diagram. See here, these are the deposition of lignin. This part you are seeing, this is the deposition of lignin, and that narrow unthickened part is there, that is known as the simple pit pair, and this is known as the lumen. So you can think that when the deposition is there, so this lumen become small, but you can consider that if you will remove this deposition, then what happened, this lumen will become bigger. So that is why the intercellular space, or you can say that the lumen is bigger in parenchyma, and due to the deposition of pectin it becomes smaller in collenchyma, and due to the deposition of the lignin it become more narrower in sclerenchyma. So A is the transverse section and B is the longitudinal section. I think You might be remembering the transverse and the longitudinal section. When you cut it horizontally, then it become transverse section, and when you cut it vertically, it become longitudinal section. Now, difference between Sclerenchyma and Sclerenchyma. Sclerenchyma contain the living mechanical tissues. Already I have discussed that parenchyma and Sclerenchyma contain the living mechanical tissues, whereas Sclerenchyma contain the dead mechanical tissue. Wall thickening is of pectin and cellulose in Sclerenchyma, whereas here wall thickening is generally of lignin. This you remember. In parenchyma, no thickening is there. In Sclerenchyma, the thickening is due to the pectin, whereas in Sclerenchyma, the thickening is due to the lignin. So here it keeps the organ soft. It provides hardness. That is the reason why it is very difficult to take out the husk of the coconut. Now, Sclerenchyma, the function of Sclerenchyma is to provide flexibility and strength, and Sclerenchyma, it provide mechanical strength for facing various stress. So that's all for today. So complete your homework, write the difference between Sclerenchyma and Sclerenchyma, draw the diagram of the Sclerenchyma which I have pasted here, and write the function of Sclerenchyma. I hope you are understanding all the material which I am sending. If you have any doubt, ask through the campus care. Thank you.